who's watching. Tonight I'm going to do a slow flow hip opening sequence for anybody that has tension or tightness or pain in the hips. We're going to start by laying on our backs with our knees bent and feet planted on the floor. You can spread your feet about hips distance apart and bring the knees together in a relaxed position. Arms wherever they're comfortable. Start by coming into the body and just take a big deep breath in and exhale. You can start by windshield wipering the knees back and forth, slowly. Just bringing some movement to the hips and feeling into the lower back. Next time you come to the center, pause, and you're going to hug in your right knee. Keep the left foot planted, and just move the knee around side to side. Feel into the mobility there. You can roll your ankle and point and flex the foot. Here we're going to take half happy baby. So you can grab the outside of the right foot with the right hand, coming from the inside of the leg, and just hold there. Keep the left hip grounded, and you're pulling the right knee almost into the armpit here, foot flexed. And breathe. If you're having any discomfort in this position, just back out a little and don't pull down with the right arm. From here, we're going to take the right foot to the left knee and open up the right knee. So you're in a figure 4 shape here. From here, you can grab onto the left thigh, or you can grab onto the left shin and just hold. And you're going to feel this in the outside of the right hip. Keep the right foot flexed and active. And you can have some movement here and gently roll side to side. And come to stillness. The hips can become very tight from sitting all day, and they hold a lot of our emotions. So releasing the hips is important. Slowly lower the left foot to the ground. Bring the right foot to meet the left, hips distance apart, and again, windshield wiper the legs slowly. Come to center and hug in the left knee. Again, here you can bring the knee side to side, find your mobility here. Roll the ankle a few times. find stillness. And then we'll come to half happy baby. So you're going to take the outside of the left foot with the left hand, with the arm on the inside of the leg, ankle stacked above the knee. If this feels like a little too much, you can also just hold the back of the thigh. And breathe here. Keep the right hip grounded, the feet are active. From here, you can bring the left foot onto the right knee in the figure 4 shape and grab onto the back of the right thigh or the right shin. Keep the left foot active, and you can roll gently side to side. Feel the different sensation that going to other side brings you. And find stillness and breathe into the left hip. Gently release the right foot to the floor, the left foot can meet the right, and windshield wiper the knees slowly. If you have a block or a rolled up blanket or a firm pillow, grab that and place it underneath the hips. We're going to open up the front of the hips a little bit. You can stay here in supported bridge with your feet on the ground, knees bent, or you can slowly extend the legs out. If you have any pain here in the lower back, keep the knees bent like this. But if this feels good on the front of the body, lay like this and just breathe into this sensation. We spend so much time sitting in desk chairs that this position does not happen often. Slowly start to walk the feet back up. Plant the feet, push into the feet, and remove the block or blanket from underneath your hips. Place it to the side. From here, you can straighten the legs, and we're going to come into banana pose. So grab the left wrist with the right hand and start walking the upper body over to the right side. Once you've got into a place where you're comfortable, where both shoulders are still grounded, start to walk both heels over to the right side. And you're going to feel a stretch through the whole left side body. Once you get your legs to a point that is comfortable for you, if If you want a little deeper stretch, you can cross your left ankle over the right. And just breathe into that deep stretch on the left side here. Uncross the ankles and walk the feet back to center. Slowly bring the upper body back to center. Take a big stretch. Reach with the arms and the toes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now you can grab the right wrist with the left hand and start bringing the upper body over to the left. Once you get to a point that is comfortable and you feel the stretch beginning down the right side, stop there. Make sure the shoulders are still grounded and begin to walk the feet over to the left. Once you get to a good point there, you can cross the right ankle over the left and breathe into the right side of the body. Big deep breath, and slowly start to bring the feet back to center, and then bring the arms back to center. Take a big inhale and big stretch like you're just waking up, and exhale, let it out. From here, we'll come up to sitting, so you can roll to whichever side is more comfortable and push yourself up. Start with the legs out in front. Sit tall. Imagine your spine is reaching up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And with a long spine, fold forward as you exhale. Every inhale, have your spine grow longer, and every exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back up, and you can bring your feet together in butterfly. Here, for a deeper stretch through the inner thighs, you can bring your feet closer to the body, and if you want a stretch more on the outer and less intense here, you can bring them further away. Here, do not pull up on the feet, let your body come forward. So take a deep breath in and elongate the spine. And on the exhale, slowly fold forward. Continue to breathe. Every inhale, your spine grows a little longer. And on every exhale, fold a little bit deeper. an inhale, slowly come back up. Here, if your hips are feeling very tight, you can sit on a block and come into wide legs. You can sit on the block, and that just gives you more stability through the seat and the spine if your hips are feeling very tight. If they're not, you can come off of the block. And from here, we're going to slowly walk our hands forward. And we're going to walk from side to side with the hands. So just slowly with your breath, tiptoe the fingers over to the right. And your hands can be close into your body or as far as feels comfortable. The further out your hands are, the deeper the stretch is going to be through the legs and the side body here. Continue to breathe and walk the hands over to the left foot. Back to center. Pause, elongate the spine, and tiptoe the fingers over to the right foot. Back over to the left foot. Back to center, and on an inhale, slowly walk the hands back up. Take a big deep breath, center yourself. Make sure you're comfortable in this position. If you had the block underneath your hips because they were tight and they're feeling a little bit looser now, you can remove the block. We're going to move side to side, opening up the sides and back of the hips. So we're going to start like this. Right hand to right foot, left arm up overhead, chest is open here. And we're just going to bend over to the right. Inhale, come up, and over to the left. Inhale, come up, exhale, other side. You can do this with your own breath. On the exhale, you lower down to either side, and on the inhale, come up. One more on each side. Come to center, bring the arms down, put the hands under the knees to help them back in. And we're going to come into tabletop position. Hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists, strong through the hands and the arms. And here we're going to do cat-cow. Inhale, exhale, round the back. Just move with your breath here. hips side to side. And then come back into child's pose. The knees can be wide. Let the body rest in front of you. Bring the forehead down to the mat. And close your eyes for a minute here and just breathe. From child's pose, slowly come up into tabletop. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, and push back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, you can come forward to make sure that your feet are far enough away from the hands, and then push back. In downward dog, pedal out the heels. Breathe in, bring the right leg up and back, and exhale, bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. From here, you can drop the left knee down. Here we're opening up the front of the left hip and the outside of the right. If you have your blocks, you can place it in front of you and come down to rest on the elbows for a deeper opening. You can roll onto the outer edge of the right foot to feel into the right inner thigh. And breathe here. This is lizard pose. On an inhale, come and plant the hands. Bring the right knee back to meet the left in tabletop and push back to downward facing dog. From here, inhale the left leg up and back, and bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Place the right knee on the ground, and feel into the front of the right hip, the outer left hip. And if you have your block, you can bring that in front of you and come down onto the forearms for a deeper stretch. You can roll onto the outer edge of the left foot and breathe here. This is a deep hip opener.
All we were doing was making nice, delicious coffee on the street, no branding, on purpose no branding, because we didn't want any barriers. There was no door, no windows. People could walk into the espresso machine, see what we were doing.
From here, plant the hands. You're going to leave your left foot where it is. Tuck the right toes and bring the right foot up. So your feet are more than hips distance apart from each other. Toes pointing out, heels in, If you have the block still there, you can use the block to sit on. And we're gonna come into Malasana, yogi squat. You can bring the hands to prayer and open up the chest. If you have a blanket or a block here, this is great because you can stay in the pose for a bit longer. Chest is lifted, knees pointing in the same direction as toes. And breathe. Plant the hands in front of you. On an inhale, extend the legs and stand up into a forward fold. You can point the toes straight forward and just fold forward. Bend the knees a little bit. You can grab onto opposite elbows and hang and sway side to side. From here, remove the block or blanket. Plant the hands and walk the feet back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, extend the right leg up and back. And exhale and bring the right knee to the right hand. And set it down. Walk the left leg back, and we're gonna come into pigeon pose. The closer the right foot is to the hips, the less intense this hip opener will be. The further you walk the right foot out, away from the hips, the more intense it will be. If there's this big space here between your hips and the ground, you can place a block, a pillow, or a blanket there so that you can really settle into the pose. From here, make sure the back leg is extended out straight, toes are pointed straight back. If this is intense enough, you can stay right here. We're gonna stay here for a couple minutes to reap all the benefits of this pose. If you would like a little more intensity, you can slowly walk the hands out in front of you. Come to rest on the forearms. Make sure the hips are square to the front. Don't lean over to one side or the other. If there is a lot of space, like I said, you can put a block or a rolled up blanket underneath the hips so that they can stay even and square. Continue to breathe. And you can slowly lower down and rest the forehead on the arms. If you're clenching your jaw here, just release the lower jaw from the upper jaw. The hips are connected to the jaw, so when you have tension in the hips, your jaw may be clenched. On an inhale, start to come up, back up to the forearms and pause. Up to the hands and pause here, open the chest. Root into the hands, tuck the back toe, and push back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, feel the difference between the legs now. On an inhale, bring the left leg up and back. And exhale, left knee to left hand. And bring the right leg down. Again, the closer the left foot is into the hips, the less intense this hip opener is. If you want more intensity, you can walk the left foot out further away from the body. If there's a lot of space in between your hips and the floor, you can place a block here or a rolled up blanket or pillow. You want the hips square to the front of the mat. Make sure the back leg is pointing straight back, toes pointed. And slowly begin to lower down to the forearms. Breathe here. Remember to unclench the jaw. And really feel into this deep hip opener. And slowly lower down a bit further and bring the forehead to rest on the forearms. On every exhale, feel yourself sink a little bit deeper into the floor. Keep breathing, releasing any tension. Slowly start to come up, first coming to your forearms and pausing. Up onto your hands, pause here, open the chest. Ground down through the hands, tuck the back toe, and push back to downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet. Feel the balance between the two sides of the body. And lower the knees to the ground and lower down into child's pose. from child's pose, find your way onto your back. Lay flat with your feet on the ground, knees bent, and we're going to come into full happy baby. So grab onto the outside of each foot, arms on the inside of the legs, ankle over the knee, feet active and flexed, and you can roll side to side here. And come to stillness. Feel the space that you've made in the hips. Breathe out any lingering tension. You can play with straightening one leg at a time if you'd like. You can straighten both legs. Pause for a moment. Slowly bring them back in. And come to lie on your back, legs flat on the ground. Arms open, relaxed by your sides in our final resting pose. Take a deep breath in and thank yourself for caring for your body and taking care of your hips, main center of support. Slowly close the eyes and turn inward. When you're ready, slowly begin to bring movement back into the fingers and toes. You can circle the wrists, roll the ankles. Bring your arms overhead and take a big stretch. And slowly roll over to your side. Pause here and slowly push yourself up into a seated position, eyes still closed. Bring your hands into prayer in front of the heart, bow your head. Thank yourself for practicing today and taking the time out of your day to nurture your body. And thank you for practicing with me tonight. Namaste.